All right, I think I'm just going to start. Oh, I'm dumb. Okay. Now I can start. Oh, Jesus. I can't start. The Pokemon. Okay, now I can start. 3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo Podcast, Webisode 483, the Dialga Podcast, or Dialga Podcast. If you haven't guessed by now, I have no idea how to say these Pokemon. Dialga is a dual-type Steel Dragon legendary Pokemon. It is not known to evolve into or from any other Pokemon. Dialga is the version mascot of Pokemon Diamond, appearing on the box art. Along with Palkia and Giratina, it is a member of the creation trio of Sinnoh, representing time. Dialga is a dark blue sauropod-like Pokemon with some gray metallic portions, such as its chest plate, which has a diamond in the center. It also has various light blue stripes. It has a fin-like structure on its back and a crest on its head, resembling a dinosaur. Dialga also has 2 horns on the top of its head, 2 fang-like horns around its mouth, 3 spines on the back of its neck, long claws, and a short tail. The wing-like structure on its back can be used to focus the flow of time, as seen in Explorers of Time, Darkness, and Sky. But we all knew that already. Dialga can warp time by either speeding it up, slowing it down, or stopping it altogether. As Dialga primarily resides in a different dimension, its behavior is nearly impossible to study. It has been shown to be very protective of its home. It also tends to have violent conflicts with its counterpart, Palkia. Dialga is the only known Pokemon that can learn Roar of Time. Well, then I guess it's pretty important, isn't it? It's number 483. It is a, whatever I said it is, Steel Dragon legendary Pokemon. And that's it. You'll find out about the next Pokemon next week, or you probably already know what it is, or you can go on and look for yourself right now. Hello, everybody that managed to come in here and join us for or join me, the Royal us, for this Friday podcast. Hello, Jakety or Jakety, Guy Bonds, Squishton, Travis, R42, My Body is Ready, Video Game Guru, and whoever, Fluffer Nutter, whoever else I'm missing because I can't see in the chat. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it. Like I said on the site, it's going to be just me today because Mom Brain is still at work, and Kirby is still at work, and Lube is at work, and everybody's at work. And tomorrow we have a family party to go to. So we will not be around to do the podcast usual time, but the podcast must go on. So that's why I'm doing it today. So like I said, thank you for joining me on this random time, on this random day. I apologize for not that I'm ever non-disheveled looking, but I apologize for being extra disheveled. I had a terrible time sleeping last night. I couldn't get to sleep. I am beat, man. At least the weekend's coming up. I'm happy about that. Yes, Fluffernutter makes a good point. Still at work. Thank you to those of you that are watching from work or from school. Can you even watch from school? I don't know. See, when I was in school, we didn't have things. We weren't like on phones and could watch things on the internet. What the hell did we have? Jesus, we had CD players. That's about it. You know, obviously Nintendo portable stuff, but nothing to like sit down and surf the internet on. I don't even remember there being wireless internet when I was in high school. I'm pretty sure there was, if there was, it wasn't widespread at all. So you guys live in a different time, man. If I was in detention now, I'd be so happy. There's so much stuff you can do with all the technology out there. You wouldn't even have to worry about being bored. Hello, Colma. Hello, Malik Halo. Hello, Mermaid of Hyrule. So yeah, first off, before we get into the news for this week, I would like to talk about some personal news related to GoNintendo. So Sonic Boom, Rise of Lyric, and Shattered Crystal both came out. They're out, right? And for the weeks leading into their release, I was trying to reach out to Sega or the PR company representing Sega to get a review copy of either version of the game, because I wanted to review it for you guys, because I was a little nervous about the game, for good cause apparently, but I was nervous about it. I wanted to reserve final judgment for actually playing the game and see how it is. I still have not played it. I have not purchased it yet. I don't know that I'm going to. But, like I said, I requested a review copy, and I was told I'd be added to the list and all that good stuff. And then nothing ever came of it. And then further emails were just ignored. And I learned that this was something that's happening to all outlets. I don't know how many outlets were told they were getting a review copy, but plenty of outlets requested them. And as usual, you know, outlets would get the games a certain amount of days before their release, and then you would play the game and follow the embargo and do the review when the embargo date was up. Pretty much how all those games go. But apparently, the PR company working for Sega doing this was instructed by Sega, or, well, obviously they had to be instructed by Sega to not send out review copies. I don't know if any were sent out, but I do know that there was some early footage of the game, but it wasn't coming from people who were reviewing it. So they might have people internally at Sega that they're friends with, or someone that's friends with people at Sega, and were able to obtain early copies. And that's how we started to see that the game, especially Rise of Lyric, wasn't really up to snuff. So right now it's kind of obvious that with big outlets saying that they weren't able to obtain review copies, like our friends at Detoid, they were trying to get a review copy, and it wasn't possible. It's obvious now that Sega was holding back review copies because they knew the game was going to be kind of poopy. So they didn't want the reviews to get out there before the game came out. They were hoping Sonic fans would just hop in on that and pick it up. And that's a tad disingenuous. That's a tad dishonest. Yeah, Guy Bonds is saying, don't send out review copies so they don't know how bad it is. Yeah, it certainly seems like that's the case. Now, I'm not trying to be mean about the Sonic brand, but it's not like there hasn't been a bad game before, but we've had our review copies and stuff like that. But it seems like Sega knew this one was going to be quite rough. So they ignored emails and requests for review copies, and I don't know if they promised other outlets that they'd get a review copy, and they didn't. I was told I would get one. I guess I could still get it, but I haven't heard anything in weeks. I don't know that I count it a fair review copy if the product is already available to the public. It's kind of hard to inform customers on whether or not they should pick up a game based on a review of a game that's already out. So yeah, I don't know that I'm going to be working with Sega anymore. I think I might move away from Sega because obviously with a move like this, they're not very trustworthy. It's sad to see. It's not the first trouble I've had with Sega. Many, many years ago, I reviewed a game, and I didn't review it very highly. And Sega told me they were stopping working with me. And they did, because I reviewed a game poorly and I wouldn't change it. So they stopped working with me. They didn't invite me to events, and they didn't provide me with review copies or anything like that. So that's how it went for years and years. And then a few years after that, someone at Sega was like, why don't we work with you? And I was like, that's what you guys said you weren't doing. So that was reversed. And now here we are, and I think it's my time to say I'm not going to work with Sega. This is how they're going to treat not reviewers in specific, but consumers and people that are interested in the brand. It seems quite honest that it seems quite obvious that they knew this wasn't going to be a good game, and they did everything they could to keep it out of the hands of reviewers, and are still doing that. So it's been a bad situation. It's been a bad week for reviews in general. I think in my chronic, I think the game was Shadow the Hedgehog, if I remember correctly. So yeah, it's been a bad week for reviews. Ubisoft was pulling some nonsense with Assassin's Creed Unity and how reviews worked and all that jazz because the game wasn't up to snuff. Now a lot of outlets are handling the reviews differently when it comes to Ubisoft, and Ubisoft has had to open a specific blog to address the situation and future patches and updates for the game because they released an unfinished game or a broken game. Seems like it's happening a lot lately. Sega did it. Ubisoft did it. I know there's a lot of issues with the Halo Master Chief Collection, which was something I was going to buy, but after hearing about how many issues there are, I think I'll hold off and wait until things are patched and fixed and work appropriately. It's sad to see that kind of stuff. That companies are releasing that stuff to the public, and it's obviously rushed, not finished, hasn't been appropriately checked. And B, when it comes to the press, they are misleading the press and ignoring the press. And I want to state, like, I'm not saying that review copies should, or companies should, without question, provide outlets with review copies. I don't believe that's the case. But I believe they shouldn't mislead reviewers and outlets and hide product from us because they know it's broken and they just want to screw over the consumer. They don't want to hurt that I'll say week one rush of people that are going to go out there and pick it up. Obviously, if some people learned that the product wasn't up to snuff, they might hang back and wait for updates, or they might decide to stay away from it altogether, which is exactly where I'm sitting with the Master Chief Collection. I'm going to hold off until things are better ironed out. So yeah, sad news. But now, hello, SD Sick Hero and Erhu. So now you know that's why we haven't had a review of Sonic, and I don't know that we will. But I feel sorry for those that have picked it up because it seems like money wasted. I'm not going to say it seems like the worst game ever, but it obviously seems like there's a lot that needs to be fixed with it, a lot of issues that needed to be addressed before release, and we have no idea if a patch is coming or not. And I was quite excited for this game because I was like, a new direction for Sonic, a new developer behind the project. It's part of a big launch for the new animated series. So I was like, this feels like a big move for Sonic. This feels like a big chance to right some of the wrongs of the past. But unfortunately, it seems, once again, Sonic has been mistreated. So it's sad. Like I said, this is more about Rise of Lyric. I haven't heard as many complaints about whatever it's called, Shattered Crystals, or Crystal. I don't remember. I know some people are complaining about not liking it, but I haven't heard as many complaints about it being broken or seeming unfinished. So that's that. Now you know. That's what's been up with Sonic. Couple reviews coming next week when embargoes are done. Smash Brothers Wii U embargo is next week, so that'll be a review on the site. Hello, Trogdor, and Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire has Hello Kerbals has a review that'll be posted on the site next week because that embargo is up. Hello Link's Triforce. So there's some big reviews coming next week, and then I guess all we have left for Nintendo for the year is Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, which I have no idea when is coming out to North American press, but the game is available in Japan, and we've been posting lots of footage of it, so hopefully you've been checking that out and see something you like and are getting excited for the North American launch. And if you're in Europe, I'm sorry, you got to wait until 2015. I was going to say 2013. 2015, but seems like that might be worth the wait because the game seems like it's something pretty special. All right. So I got that little tidbit out of the way. just so you guys know, I always like being open and honest with you guys so you know what's going on, and I feel like it's important for you to know when companies are doing some shady business. So there's that. But let's get to the regular news of the week. I had our Zod Drifter Dev Diary series is pretty much over because the game's development is done. It's been wrapped and is being sent off to Nintendo for approval, and hello French fry guy, and will hopefully be released in North America this year. That's the goal anyway, as long as the submission process goes smoothly and there's no big issues that need to be worked on. So you should be playing Zod Drifter sometime before the year ends, which is awesome. And we've been covering the game now for, hello Poots McGee and Environ. We've been covering it for 14 weeks now, from the very first day it was announced, which we had the exclusive announcement on. And then we've had a new dev diary, a new exclusive dev diary each week since then. So I can't believe it's been that long already. Over 3 months worth of content for Zod Drifter. And this week, because development is done, I had a chance to talk about my multiple play sessions with the game in development, because I've been playing it throughout this whole process. I played the original build, and then I played builds thereafter that were spruced up a little bit and tweaked a little bit. Yeah, they're in development builds, so the game was still in the works, so I got to see things as they were added. When I was originally playing, how long was Zod Drifter in development, says Kerbals. Well, when I found out about it, it had already been in development for some time, and there was a playable build. So more than 3 months, obviously. It could be half a year or something like that. Hello, Haley. But when I did play it, the first planet and the second planet, I don't want to say that they were finished, but they were playable. And hello, Amanda Hug and Kiss. And were, they acted as a level should. You could run, jump, shoot. There were enemies and stuff like that. The visuals might not have been done. And the bosses weren't in place at all. And power-ups weren't there and stuff like that. But it was a level you could run around and explore. But the third planet and especially the fourth planet were completely unfinished. Fourth especially, because it was nothing but pieces of land you could run on. The level layout was there, but there were no graphics. There was just different colors. So the ground and everywhere you could run would be purple. The background was yellow, and then there were red boxes for where enemies would be. So it was literally the character was finished and everything else was done. Or everything else was unfinished. And obviously that changed as time went on. Hello, Nintendo. And I got to play the most recent build, which is, for all intents and purposes, as close to the final build as I'm going to get, with all the little bells and whistles in place and all the little animations and enemies where they should be and bosses and stuff like that. So it's been amazing to see the development of a game like this. I've never had this much access to a game that's in development. I literally saw it from one of the first playable builds, to an almost finished build. And I've been playing it, and I really do like it. It is a portable, focused, Metroid-like experience. And like I said in my article, I think a lot of people are looking for that Metroid experience right now because Nintendo's not giving it to us. So if you are a Metroid fan, especially the more old school Metroid, like NES or Super Nintendo, you should find a lot to like here. It's definitely quicker than Metroid is, but same general ideas. You explore, you shoot, you collect power-ups, and you upgrade your abilities. Except one of the major difference here is there's 4 planets that you can explore at will. Obviously, some areas of those planets will not be accessible until you get certain powers. But you can go to any planet you want to from the beginning and explore as far as you can go with your abilities. Then you find out where you can go and find secret areas and find power-ups and stuff like that to help you explore further. But it's not a massively it's not a massive world like Super Metroid was, or Castlevania Symphony of the Night. It's not a huge world, huge seamless world like that. It's more of a portable focused or portable mentality Metroid style game. So it's something you can easily pick up and play. You hop in your ship, you go to the planet you want to go to, you go explore a little bit, then you hop back in your ship and you save, and that's it. So much more portable friendly. Pick up and play. And I'm not saying it's 30 minutes long, because it's not. Especially if you're going for all the power-ups, you should be able to put a nice chunk of time into it. And the power-ups are a huge part of it, because one of the best features, I think, is the ability of using the touchscreen to customize how you shoot. I've talked about this on the podcast before. You actually get to allot points to certain aspects of your gun. So like the speed of the gun, what type of shot it is, like a rapid fire shot or a wavy shot or a spread shot. And you get to mix and match little pegs basically on a board to say how much of one thing you want. So you want a split shot that's a little bit wavy, but it's really fast, or you want a direct forward shot that's super fast, or, you know, a big arcing wavy shot. You decide all that stuff, and you can change it on the fly. It's not like you allot the points and you're locked into that. You can change it as you play. So depending on the bosses you come across or the enemies you come across, you might find a certain weapon layout to work better than another one. So you can pick and choose as you play, which is really cool. And obviously, the more secrets you find, the more of those pegs or pips you'll have to allot to those powers, which is called awesome. And then on top of that, there's your usual, you know, like character style power-ups for like accessing the background and running quickly and swimming and stuff like that. No specific ETA microtic other than this year. They are aiming for this year, and there's not that much time left in this year. We're almost halfway through November, so they're aiming to have it out before the year ends. And as soon as I get that information from Jules over at Renegade Kid, I will let you guys know. Like I said, it all depends on how the submission process goes and if any game-breaking bugs or anything are found like that. So, yeah, if you've been playing Shantae and the Pirate's Curse, you have a very good idea of how the universe feels. Shantae and the Pirate's Curse does a similar thing, except on a grander scale of you don't have one big world. You have islands that are exploration-based. A little more, that's a little more straightforward than Zod Drifter is. Shantae's islands are, they have exploration in them, but they're a little more straightforward than what you find in Zod Drifter. But same idea. Shantae has islands you explore. Zod Drifter has planets you explore. So if you're a fan of Shantae, you should find a lot to enjoy in Zod Drifter. So yeah, you can read my thoughts, my detailed thoughts on the game if you haven't checked that out. It's something special. I think a lot of you guys will enjoy what you get out of that game. Because like I said, Nintendo's not doing Metroid right now, so Renegade Kid stepped up to give us a Metroid-like experience. This week's European downloads, what did Europe get? They got Tengami, which has a soundtrack from David Wise, who used to do tons of soundtracks at Rare. This has like an origami art style, flipbook sort of puzzle-ish gameplay. It's right up my alley. I haven't played it yet. I was very tempted to get it on a mobile device, but I thought I'd hold out for the Wii U version, so that is now available in Europe. Hello, Mr. Koi. Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham is available. That's on Wii U and 3DS. I've grown kind of tired of the Lego games, but I don't dislike them. Just, you know, it's a I feel it's a very stagnant design approach. I don't feel there's huge differences in the games. But that's not a knock. They're still fun. Just, you know, every once in a while I need to take a break from them. Paper Monsters Recut is available on the Wii U. Castlevania Dracula X is available. Golden Sun The Lost Stage is available on the Wii U Virtual Console. Flowerworks HD Follies Adventure has gotten a demo. 3DS, as I said, is Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham. Top Model 3D. Do you have what it takes to be the next top model? Stroll down the catwalk and pose elegantly during photo shoots. Prove that you've got the best style and makeup at all times. Will you receive a photo or will you leave the show? The jury decides. Sounds pretty intense. Picross E5 is available. This is, yes, the 5th Picross game in that series. Features Micross, Mega Picross, and 20x15 Picross. All 3 modes from the previous game. Vacation Adventures Park Ranger 2. Join the Rangers for another truly sensational vacation adventure in the great outdoors. Explore Pine Creek's many new features and facilities, including the Park Museum, mountain cable cars, and Treetops Restaurant. Walk through giant sequoias along Cherokee River beside beautiful waters and pan for gold in Golden Pond. There's even time for some fishing, but beware the hot August nights and the notorious fire season in the astounding Hidden Object game. Man, the game sounded... Hello, Grubber Gamer. The game sounded cool until I heard it was Hidden Object. I don't have anything against Hidden Object. I just thought it sounded more like an Animal Crossing game or something like that, but Hidden Object. Bionic Commando Elite Forces, the Game Boy Color game, is now available on the 3DS Virtual Console in Europe. I remember getting that game for the Game Boy Color, like the actual Game Boy Color when that was available. I remember going to Toys R Us to get it. And I really liked it. I was really blown away by the animation, and I was just watching the trailer for it, and the animation still impressed me. It doesn't have a solid of a soundtrack as the other Bionic Commandos, in my opinion, but I still had a lot of fun with it. Hello, Raw Meats Cowboy, and hello, Alien Boy VA. Well, thanks to everybody for joining. I appreciate it. Air Race Xeno has a demo available for free. Fishdom is available. The amazingly addictive and popular Match 3 game. Thrilling maritime-themed puzzles await you in a beautiful underwater world. Playing in your own customizable aquarium, complete countless tricky Match 3 levels to earn new fish. Awesome underwater decorations, food dispensers, and much more. Yes, Raw Meats Cowboy, the actual Game Boy Color. I had an actual Game Boy Color, not this virtual console stuff. Polka dots, dots and stripes, stars, gingham, and stripes are all themes that are available for your 3DS. And there's special offers on Air Race Xeno, Van Helsing Sniper ZX100, Johnny Hotshot, Balloon Pop Remix, Johnny Kung Fu, Samurai Sword Destiny, Zombie Slayer, Deox, and Air Race Speed. So a big week for Europe. And North America, I should say. We've been having really big digital download weeks in recent weeks. A ton of content coming out, whether it's good or bad. There's good stuff every week for sure, not all of it, but a lot of variety. First comment comes from Martin. And he says, nothing of interest for me personally this week. Was hoping for Pokemon Puzzle Challenge like North America got last week. I'm sure it'll come, though. In the meantime, I suppose I could consider Shovel Knight or something. Shovel Knight would be a very good consideration. This pleases my to the tune of the Batman series. Na 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 nipples. I like that one. Yes, Shovel Knight comes highly recommended. If you own a Wii U or a 3DS, you should also own Shovel Knight. It's an excellent game. North America, Nintendo partners with Loot Crate for a creative way to deliver Amiibo to fans. So there was... I've considered getting a Loot Crate subscription before, but my nerdness does not reach all the corners that Loot Crate covers. So I'd be getting a lot of stuff that I just wouldn't have any interest in. So I backed off. But now with this partnership with Nintendo, I'm kind of interested. The PR says, with the holidays fast approaching and excitement for Amiibo growing every day, the popular online service Loot Crate is helping fans receive select Amiibo figures that they launch on November 21st. By signing up for an Amiibo subscription service, subscribers will receive 10 pre-selected Amiibo, including Mario, Pikachu, Donkey Kong, Fox, and Yoshi, separated into 3 special Loot Crate shipments throughout the holiday season without ever having to leave their homes. So if you're not like in a huge rush, you can do this delivery service through Loot Crate and get yourself some Amiibo and some other stuff, I'm sure, as well. So it's an interesting idea. You can follow Loot Crate on Twitter to get more updates on that. But it's certainly an interesting idea and a very unique way to get some Amiibo. As long as you're out to collect a large amount of them. Like I've said, I'm not super interested in all the Amiibo just because I'm not going to use all of them. So I only want to grab the ones that I'm actually going to use, which includes Rob, which there is no announced Amiibo for yet. But like a Link one is great. Link and Toon Link. I have the Link one from review copies of Smash Brothers Wii U, but I'd love to get a Toon Link one. So that's something for me to consider, but I'm not going to start a collection of all of them. First comment comes from Dematador, and he says, now this is good PR. Loot Crate is awesome. Yes, Loot Crate has a lot of fans, so I was happy to see Nintendo doing this unique approach to spreading the word on Amiibo. It really seems like Nintendo's doing some very interesting and different and far-reaching advertising for their holiday season and for big stuff like Smash Brothers Wii U and Amiibo. So it's cool to see that. Mr. Miyamoto talked about how films and games differ. This was an interview with The Telegraph that Mr. Miyamoto did. And he says, when you play a game, one moment you're just controlling it, and then suddenly you feel you're in its world. And that's something you cannot experience through film or literature. It's a completely unique experience. These younger game creators, they want to be recognized. They want to tell stories that will touch people's hearts. And while I understand that desire, the trend worries me. It should be the experience that is touching. What I strive for is to make the person playing the game the director. All I do is help them feel that by playing, they're creating something that only they could create. I kind of agree with that. I do get that feeling from Nintendo games. And maybe that's why I'm such a Nintendo fan, because that's not a feeling I get from a ton of games. I do love a ton of games, but I often feel Nintendo has that special something. Maybe that's why I like them so much. Maybe that's Miyamoto's aim with games is something that is throughout Nintendo as a whole. It certainly seems to make a difference. And that's why a lot of people are fans of Nintendo, because they're getting an experience or a feeling or a vibe or something out of the games that you don't get traditionally from other areas. He also talks about what other companies are doing, and he says, what the other companies are doing makes business sense, but it's boring. The same games appear on every system. At Nintendo, we want an environment where game creators can collaborate and think of ideas for games that could have never happened before. One thing that really comes across to me when Nintendo talks about games is how much they actually love video games. With other companies, I should say with other hardware creators, I feel like they do make games and publish games, but I don't know that their true deep passion and desire is there. Like Nintendo has games and that's it. They're going to expand into other areas, but Nintendo has video games. That is their thing. That is what they're known for. Sony and Microsoft have many other areas of their companies. And while there are people at Sony and Microsoft that I feel are very passionate about games and have the same feeling that Miyamoto and Nintendo do about games, like Major Nelson and what's his face over at Sony. Oh God, I can't remember his name. But they do have people there that are extremely passionate about games. But I feel like as an entity, as an entire company, Nintendo just has that true passion for games and love of video games in general. Whereas the other companies saw it as an interesting place to get into. And I'm sure their passion has grown over the years, without a doubt. But on the whole, Nintendo feels like they are, games are important to them, very important. So there's more in that Telegraph interview if you want to check it out. There's just a few snippets. First comment comes from Guy Bonds, and he says, it comes from a Telegraph article. He has a snippet from the article where it talks about Nintendo's Pikmin short films and saying how it's their first debut into film since the Super Mario Brothers movie. I'll read the snippet specifically. It says, this is Nintendo's first foray into film since the ill-starred Super Mario Bros. Movie of '93, in which Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo skulked around a dank metropolis that bore no obvious resemblance to the Mushroom Kingdom of Miyamoto's game. He remembers the episode with a wry smile. Miyamoto says, our American subsidiary was giving away a lot of our licenses, and we had them stop doing that. He grins. And then Guy Bond says, so that's why NOA gets basically no say in anything anymore. Still holding a grudge all these years later over the Super Mario Brothers movie. I mean, I don't know that the Super Mario Brothers movie should be live action to begin with. Maybe one day we'll see Nintendo get brave enough to try it again and make it at least closer to what a Super Mario Brothers movie should be. But now, you know, the Super Mario Brothers movie has gone far past making fans angry. And has moved on to, you know, a cult following and enjoying it for how bad it is and stuff like that. Erhu is asking me why I have a Metroid Other M poster in my office. It's because Nintendo sent it to me, and while I may not think that to be the best Metroid game, it's not a terrible game, but on top of that, I can appreciate the artwork outside of the game itself, so that's why it's hanging there. I do like that a lot. Rum Eats Cowboy is, I don't know what he's doing. He's his own person. He's doing whatever he wants. So there you go. That's your Miyamoto tidbit for the week. I don't remember if there's any more from Miyamoto, but we shall find out together. There was a Wii U firmware update this week that added in Amiibo support for the Wii U. So obviously Amiibo are coming out soon, and Nintendo needed to get the Wii U up to snuff. And now the ability to scan and utilize Amiibo is there. So the official update notes say Amiibo settings have been added to system settings. Amiibo settings allow users to register an Amiibo owner and nickname, delete data written to an Amiibo by supporting software, or reset an Amiibo. And then, as usual, it wouldn't be, hello, Proto-Spartan. As usual, it wouldn't be a system update without the typical improvements to system stability and usability. Other minor adjustments to enhance the user experience. So that's a part of every update. So your Amiibo update is ready. So your Wii U will be ready for day one when you get those Amiibo. Lewd Party says, happening, improving that system stability. Oh, and Amiibo support is cool too. Everybody gets excited for that system stability update. Nintendo has unveiled the third round of Amiibo. They did so on the Japanese Twitter account, and then retailers started talking about it and blah, blah, blah. So your third round is, let's see if I can embarrass myself by not knowing. Oh, I see one I don't know. I mean, I know, but I don't know. Third round is Lucario, Rosalina and Luma, Bowser, Toon Link, Sheik, Meta Knight, King Dedede, Shulk, Sonic, Mega Man, and then there's a Fire Emblem character, and I never remember which one is which. Ike. Let's guess Ike, so I could be wrong. I know it's going to be wrong. So, though, that's your third round of Amiibo. But I don't remember when we're getting them. February? Some of those are February, I think. First comment comes from Phoenix Rush, and he says, DDD, finally. I need that one if it doesn't look terrible. I don't know. Let me look. Looks pretty good to me. I saw a lot of people saying that they believe the third wave of Amiibo are of a higher quality and are looking better than previous rounds. I know a lot of people have been upset by the little plastic-like supports in the first wave because they're like yellow, or like Link has a yellow one. A lot of people are upset about that. But this one all has clear, or whitish clear, I should say. So I think people are happier about that. But Bowser doesn't need one. He stands on his own. Ike doesn't need one, it doesn't seem like. King Dedede doesn't need one, and Mega Man doesn't need one. So if you're only getting ones that don't need supports, there's your new ones. So I am eager to see someone who actually goes through the whole collection and purchases all of them. I'd like to see all of them in like a Smash Brothers style case. That'd be pretty cool. Uh-oh. I'm getting a message. If you'll pardon me for 1 second.
Kevin, I just found out my dad's coming today, so I'm going to eat dinner with him, and then I'm going to come over.
That sounds lovely. I'm doing the podcast right now, so I can't answer any more questions, but we'll be here, so you just let me know when you're coming over. Setting up plans for later today. I apologize. This is what happens when you do a podcast on Friday. People start bothering you. Nintendo says all in February in North America and in Europe, spread with between January and February as well. So there you go. Those are your months. So next year. Sorry, got to wait until next year. All right. What else happened this week? We saw the announcement of the Crystal Red and Crystal Blue 2DS systems. They're coming to North America. So if you're looking to become a new 3DS owner, you still have the 2DS option, and now you have the Crystal versions. And by Crystal, they mean see-through. So see-through blue casing and see-through red casing. They will be available on November 21st, and they are $100. Now, remember, I'm sure you can find a better deal than that with all the Black Friday stuff coming up and other retailer-specific deals. So if you could probably get yourself a system to play 3DS games for like $80 or $70, something like that, if you play your cards right. But now you have two more options, Crystal Red and Crystal Blue. Let's see, you guys gave this a +1, so there's a fight between points. Seems like some people are upset and some aren't. Cube Enigma says, yes, Crystal Red, here I come. There you go. You have one Crystal owner, one future Crystal owner. We don't need to do that. Oh, yeah, we'll talk about that real quick. There are going to be retailer-specific Amiibo, meaning you will have to go to certain retailers to get a specific Amiibo. And the one we know for sure is Shulk. Shulk is going to be a GameStop exclusive, which actually, if you're going to talk retailer exclusives, makes sense because Xenoblade was a retailer exclusive at GameStop. So now the Amiibo is retailer exclusive. You know, it's so funny that Xenoblade almost didn't release here, and now Shulk is in Smash Brothers with like level representation and other characters as well, and getting an Amiibo as well. So it's a pretty big deal for a character that was in a game that almost didn't come here. It makes you wonder, like, how far in advance Nintendo really is looking at things. Because it would be awfully, well, yeah, it would be strange to have Shulk in the game and get an Amiibo, but we didn't actually get the game. But we did. We don't have to worry about that. So, yeah, Shulk is going to be GameStop exclusive. You guys give this a -24. You are not happy about that. Squishton, who's in the chat, I think, says, oh, who totally called it? That's right, me. Also, guess who isn't getting a Shulk Amiibo? I understand people being upset about it being a retailer exclusive, only having one place to get it. I understand that. That can be frustrating, especially if you don't like to order off the internet or you have no GameStop in your area. But, you know, at least it's going to be available, and GameStop makes sense based on how Xenoblade Chronicles was GameStop exclusive. So, you know, if it's going to be exclusive, the retailer makes sense, but I understand being upset by that. Smash Brothers Wii U, we got some excellent information on that. It is now the most pre-ordered Wii U game in North America, as far as I know. This isn't the world, I don't think, but North America. The previous record holder was Mario Kart 8, and Reggie spoke to Bloomberg, and he says Smash Brothers Wii U has overtaken that. And he said the launch of Mario Kart 8 essentially doubled Wii U sales, so they're hoping for a similar thing from Smash Brothers. Pre-orders for Smash are stronger than pre-orders for Mario Kart 8, and Nintendo is expecting the sell-through to be very strong, or at least on par with Mario Kart 8, which is good news. If the worst they can do is what Mario Kart 8 did, then that's pretty good news. Nintendo, is, like I said, expects the impact on Wii U sales to be very dramatic. So let's hope they're correct, because the Wii U could use a good holiday season. You know what would help if there was a goddamn Smash Brothers Wii U bundle? As far as we know, there's not. First comment comes from the Prototype Man, and he says, everything's coming up Wii U. It's certainly nice to see that. We've heard good, positive Wii U sales news. We've seen good, positive Nintendo sales news in general. They made money in their last fiscal report, which is good. It almost cleared up all the money that they lost in the last couple fiscal reports, so that's good too. So that's great. Hello, never mind. Hello, Traylon. Yeah. So good news, good news. Let's hope the good news keeps rolling through the holiday season. It should. Al Newman says that the Legend of Zelda Wii U looks even better than what we saw at E3. Obviously, because Nintendo's been working on it. And they're teasing new info for 2015's E3 event. So, I think we all kind of expected to see the game at E3 2015, maybe in a playable form on the show floor, but definitely learn more about it in general. Maybe get an official trailer for it rather than just that quick gameplay snippet. Maybe we'll even get a name, the subtitle. That would be great. But Mr. Al Newman teased it once again. So something's happening at E3. He says many styles were considered for the game's visuals. So they went through a lot of different things before they got to what we saw at E3 last year. Now it looks more amazing than what was shown at E3. The enemy shown in the debut trailer is something not previously seen in the series. And you have to come up with a strategy while escaping on a horse to fight it. So the team considered the following when developing that scene. They were considering, if an enemy like this appears, how would you beat it? So that's something that they considered when crafting this game. And like I said, Nintendo may have new things to show at E3 2015. In other words, we'll see the game at E3 2015. First comment comes from Vonter, and he says, to be honest, the E3 Zelda demos rarely are the stuff of legends. At least I haven't heard a lot of people being polarized by the look yet. We shall see what happens at E3. North America. What do we have here? North America, this week's digital downloads. What do we get? Sonic Boom, Rise of Lyric. We also got a World of Keflings, which was on Xbox before, I believe, Xbox 360. Embark on a giant kingdom-building adventure to exotic lands and help your new tiny Kefling friends along the way. Play as your Mii character and help the friendly little Keflings harvest resources, assemble buildings, and create thriving cities. Virtual Console on Wii U got Mario Kart Super Circuit. Also available is Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham on both Wii U and 3DS. Then there's Sonic Boom Shattered Crystal on the 3DS. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Danger of the Ooze. I'm very interested in checking this out. It's way forward developed. And it's like a Metroidvania, but with the Ninja Turtles. I really like that. If anybody out there has played the console version, let me know what you think of it. Also available is Tetris Ultimate, the Ubisoft-developed Tetris game, which I believe Dan says is okay. Hello, Koku Tan Luffy. Nintendo said this version is okay, but, Nintendo's Tetris, what was it, Axis? Is still the superior version. 3DS Virtual Console got Pokemon Trading Card Game. Special sales on BitTrip Presents Runner 2 Future Legend of Rhythm Alien. It's more than 60% off. If you haven't checked that out, you should. Abyss is 25% off. Chubbins is 25% off. European Conqueror 3D is 30% off. Darts of 3D is 60% off. Soccer of 3D is 70% off. Also new this week is Xavier, Flowerworks HD Follies Adventure Demo, Castle Conqueror Defender, European Conqueror 3D Demo version, I've Got to Run Complete Edition, Picross E5, Scary Girl Illustration Kit, and Winx Club Saving Althea, the one we've all been waiting for. Ramit's cowboy has been kicked. He's causing trouble. Sorry to people on the IRC that were dealing with that. And he had a warning. I saw his warning. Hello, Tasty N. First comment comes from Cube Enigma. And he says, this week has quite a bit of handheld classics. Picking up the Pokemon trading card game for sure. Mario Kart Super Circuit may be the most played game on my GBA, but with Mario Kart 8 DLC, Mario Kart 8 has my focus for karting. Yes, Mario Kart 8's first round of DLC. DLC Pack 1 is now available with a whole bunch of new tracks like the Excite Bike track and the Hyrule track and the F-Zero track and the dragon for Super Mario Galaxy track, and you can play as Link, which everybody's doing, or Tanuki Mario, or Cat Peach, all kinds of stuff in there. Available right now. Sakurai has talked about Smash Bros. Wii U and 3DS. Excuse me. He's confirmed that a patch is coming to balance some stuff. But he was saying he revealed an interesting bit of information. He revealed that Little Mac, by far, has the worst win-to-loss ratio as far as players out there. He's been looking at the data. He says, for Brawl, the individual character win ratios lined up nicely in a staircase format, but for Smash Brothers on the 3DS, one fighter has a significantly low ratio. It's Little Mac. Little Mac is a fighter with very pronounced strengths and weaknesses. While he has an enhanced dodge and megaton-level punch for aggressive play, he has very weak jump power and has a simple back throw along with a follow-up attack. And follow-up attack proved to be crippling. It appears that the biggest reason for his low win ratio is because people fall under the assumption that Little Mac is strong and all rush to use him only to get pummeled in return. He gives the impression of being able to win easier than other fighters, which leads to more people using him. But in reality, he's a difficult character to actually continuously win with. I believe that averaging out character stats is a bad move in both play and competition. So he's not really going to change how Little Mac plays because Little Mac plays how he designed him to play, or how he was designed to play. So lots of people have been playing with Little Mac online, and yes, he can kick your ass and is very strong, but he easily gets knocked out. So people have lost more matches with Little Mac than any other character, so now you know. So I'm guessing people are going to move away from Little Mac to find someone a little more well-rounded, and you're going to find fewer people using Little Mac who actually put in, hello Superdo, put in the time to figure out how to play Little Mac well, rather than just use him as a powerhouse. Shell Shocker says, of all the Little Macs I've seen, many have the assumption that you are pressing the I win button when you need to think about how to play as him. That's very true. You think, well, he's strong, I'll just beat everybody up, and that's that. And then you quickly learn that's not the case. NPD came out. I can't play my usual NPD game because I don't have Mom Brain or Kirby or anybody here. So you just hear the information. I'm sorry. I love torturing the other people with this information. But I'll just read it to you, starting with number 10. Minecraft was number 10. Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor was 9. 8 was Madden NFL. 7 was FIFA 15. Skylanders Trap Team was number 6. But some interesting numbers here. The 360 version sold the most, followed by Wii, and then Wii U. Then PS3, then Xbox One, then PS4, then 3DS, then mobile. So not a lot of sales on the 3DS version. But a good amount between Wii and Wii U, which is excellent. Destiny. That's an interesting breakdown, too. 360, Xbox One, PS4, PS3. More people buying on Microsoft systems this month than Sony systems. Borderlands, the pre-sequel. The Evil Within took the 3rd spot. Number 2 was Smash Brothers for 3DS. So for a single-platform game, that's a very impressive debut. We know it sold over 700,000 units as of the publishing of the MPD data, but now we know it's sold over 1 million. And number 1 was NBA 2K15. So there's your top 10 for October 2014. XC Warrior says, clearly people who buy NBA 2K15 don't talk about it on social media. I think I saw a couple of reviews saying it was good. Otherwise, silence. I noticed that too, XC Warrior. I was thinking the same thing. Not a lot of people talking about it, but obviously a lot of people buying it. Smash Brothers for the 3DS is the 10th Nintendo 3DS game to sell over 1 million units. So a new milestone for the 3DS. It's 10th million seller, which is great to see. Has already sold 1.2 million units combined physical and digital. The game sold more than 485,000 units total in October to become the 10th Nintendo 3DS title to sell over 1 million units. Smash Bros. For 3DS game is the best-selling handheld title so far in 2014. But Pokemon could steal that away, they're saying, which arrives on November 21st. Wii U also had a strong year, they say. Through the first 10 months of 2014, total sales of Wii U hardware and software has increased by 47% and 84%, which is great. So 47% more hardware sold and 84% more software sold in the first 10 months of 2014, because that's where we're at right now. This is over the same period in 2013. Hello, Chorus Face and Metasov. And they're saying those numbers are poised to grow because Smash Brothers comes out on the Wii U on November 21st. And Amiibo is launching the same day. And then Captain Toad launches on December 5th. So if you wanted to know the million sellers on 3DS, I have that total for you. The Legend of Zelda Link Between Worlds has sold 1.06 million. Smash Brothers for 3DS has sold 1.2 million. Animal Crossing has sold 1.4 million. Remember, this is just US, I guess. What did I say? Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon has sold 1.3. Ocarina of Time 3D sold 1.4. Pokemon Y sold 2. Pokemon X sold 2.1. New Super Mario Bros. 2 sold 2.3. Super Mario 3D Land sold 3.4. And Mario Kart 7 is the king with 3.6 million sold. I am surprised to see The Legend of Zelda Link Between Worlds only at 1.06 million. Well, only. That's not right. But I'm surprised to see it hasn't sold more than that. I'm glad it's a million seller. It certainly deserves to be. But I would have thought it had been more middle of the pack, at least higher ones than that. I'm surprised. But that's where it sits, and at least it's a million seller. That's an excellent Zelda game. One of my favorites. First comment comes from Chicken008, and they say, I thought Tomodachi Life sold 1 million copies as well. I thought it did too. Maybe not. Well, this says, let's see. In the United States, maybe it sold 1 million units in North America, so it can't be included because Canada's not included in here. I don't know, just a guess. So those are your top stories. What did I play this week? I don't even know. Obviously, I played Smash Brothers Wii U. I've still been playing that. I love it. I need more people. I can't wait to play online, actually, which is something I hardly ever say. But I definitely need more people. All my regular Smash Brothers people. Excuse me. All my regular Smash Brothers people have been working a lot lately, so we haven't had a chance to get together and play. But hopefully that will change soon. I'm looking for the question. Okay. So I've been playing Smash Brothers. I haven't played Destiny in a while. And I need to get back into it. I haven't been playing Destiny because I was watching Twin Peaks. I took a break from Destiny for a little bit to watch Twin Peaks, and I finished up Hello, Nintendo. I finished up Twin Peaks, the whole series and the movie, so now I'm going to get back into more game stuff. So yeah, I haven't played Destiny in a while. I'm trying to think of what else I've been playing. I guess really it was just Smash Brothers because I've been spending my usual game playing time watching Twin Peaks. So hopefully next week I'll have more to talk about Smash Brothers. Like I said, Smash Brothers by itself is still fun, but real people is where it's at. So hopefully I'll have that soon. I miss my Smash Brothers friends. Okay. TAW has the question for this week, and he says, "Oh, by the way, you can go to the GoNintendo message boards into the GoNintendo podcast questions section and leave us a question about anything you want. And I would love to, and we would love to answer your questions, no matter what you have to ask." Hello, Invader Gur. And Nintendo has some information on Tomodachi Life. He says it released in June. This comes from the investors meeting. Released in June, in overseas markets continue to show steady sales and marked 1.27 million units in the sales worldwide during the fiscal year, and 3.12 million units on a cumulative basis. So there you go, worldwide. TAW says, the last days, third parties like Activision and Ubisoft have commented on their perspective what games to publish. Oh, did we do this? I think we did this one, yeah. Because he had another. All right, phone. He says, what HD remake is Nintendo going to publish in 2015? Well, we know Majora's Mask is getting a remake, although I guess we can't consider it HD, but it's getting a remake. So there's your one. What HD remake? Oh, what are we going to actually see, or what do I want? You know what I would love? I'd love an HD remake of Pilot Wings 64. I think that would be a lot of fun. I think that should just be a download game. I would play the hell out of that. Pilot Wings 64 was my first Pilot Wings game. I don't know. I never considered Pilot Wings. I didn't have anything against it. I just didn't play the Super Nintendo one. And my friend was like, you got to play Pilot Wings 64. It's going to be great. So I bought it, and he was right. It's a fantastic game. I'd love to see an HD remake of that. I had a blast playing that game. Chances of that happening, I'd say very slim to none. More likely remake, probably Super Mario Sunshine. A lot of people want that in HD. I would definitely love to see that in HD. I think that'd be a lot of fun to play. I'm always one to go for new games over HD remakes. Or remakes in general. Remakes are nice. I like remakes, but I'm always more interested in the next installment in a franchise rather than a remake. They make nice stopgap games as you're waiting for the new titles. So, like, Majora's Mask 3D will be a nice stopgap until we get to The Legend of Zelda Wii U. But yeah, I'll stick with those two. Sunshine and Pilot Wings 64. Sunshine, likely. Pilot Wings 64, my personal pick. Not going to happen. All right. We don't have anybody to do music with. Hello, Furco. We don't have anybody to do any of that stuff with. I'm all alone today. I have you guys, but I can't do music with you. Blast Core HD Remake, says Microtic. It's funny you say that because I was thinking of that. I really was. I would like to play Blast Core again, and I haven't played it since it originally launched. I wonder how that would work, you know, because it's N64, but Rare made it, and I wonder what would go on with that. It's not like Rare's doing anything with it, as far as we know. We saw that if you've been following along with Microsoft news, there's Rare's working on something very Rare-esque, and there's also talk about how the Battletoads name was, I don't know, the trademark was refreshed or something like that. I'd love a new Battletoads. That'd be great. Except, like, if it's going to go the way that recent Rare handlings have gone, I'm going to be upset about it. Like, you know, here's Conquer in this other game. Not a new Conquer game. Sorry about that. So I don't, or like, here's now I like the Killer Instinct. I like the new Killer Instinct, but Rare's not involved with it. So I you know, if they are doing a new Battletoads, it'd be like, here's Battletoads, but it's RPG, and I don't know. It's not Battletoads. I want a traditional beat 'em up Battletoads. I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe if it's download only. Hello, Video Game Guru. I can't do music with you because I don't have music to do. I don't have anything prepared. I don't want to go in and mess with the submissions and play them for you guys, because those are submissions people send in for us to guess. So I don't want them to feel gypped. Battletoads 3DS, says Guy Bonds. Make it happen. Yeah, I don't think so. I'd love it. Weren't they working on a portable Battletoads some years ago? I don't remember if it was DS or GBA. But there was something out there that never came to fruition. Like a lot of Rare projects, it seems, back in the day, they would start stuff and they'd either die quickly or go through multiple like changes and different tweaks and then just get dropped. I don't know why that happened to Rare so often, but Rare is a shell of its former self, which is sad. So it makes me a bit worried for what would happen if they bring back an iconic Rare brand like Conquer or Battletoads. Could the people there now actually pay it the respect it deserves? Way Forward should make a new Battletoads, says my chronic. Now that I agree with. Now that I could get into. That'd be great. All right. It's a regular work day for me, which means I have to get back to regular work. Thank you to everybody that joined for the podcast today. You guys are always great in supporting us on a randomly placed show at a randomly placed time, especially when it's just me. Solo shows are always tough to do because it's just me and I got no one else to play off of but you guys, which is why I always make a point to, hello Pikachu, to extra invite you to the show. And you always show up in great numbers. So thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. I know it's your Friday and it's your time to relax, and you take some of that time and hop into the IRC and hang out with me while I do this. for an hour. So thanks for spending this hour with me. I really do appreciate it. I hope you're having a wonderful week so far. I hope you have great weekend plans ahead of you, like playing games, hanging with friends, and whatever it is that makes you happy. And I guess that's all I got for you. So next week, hopefully, we'll be back to a regular show with some regular people, and we'll get back to the music section like we usually have. And yeah. So thanks for watching and thanks for listening. I had a lovely time, and I hope you did too. And I will see you next week. Goodbye, everybody. Not really goodbye, but goodbye. Oh, you bitch. Goddamn crap. Audacity just shits the beds. Yeah, I'm after show. I can say it. Audacity just shits the bed sometimes. I record the whole show, and it's like, nope, not going to do it. It's like I record everything, and it says Audacity has stopped working. Let me just make sure. Let me just get the thing going to save it. Oh, where do I do that? Give me 1 second, guys. I apologize. Why do I always forget where you do this? There we go. You think after this happened so many times, I would remember? Okay. Crisis averted. Show's being saved. Oh, King Broly's here. I wanted to say something to King Broly. Hey, King Broly. Shoot me an email. I got to talk to you about something. Can't say what here. Just shoot me an email. romycowboy@gmail.com or I don't know, tips@GoNintendo.com. Either one's fine. Just shoot me an email. Hopefully you're watching and you hear me say that. King Broly, if you hear me say that, let me know. Type something in there so I can see. Anyway, so yeah, our after show where I BS about anything. The show's saved. Don't worry, Video Game Guru. I got the audio version. I just have to go about it a different way. I have a program that recovers the audio just in case it's lost. So it's taken care of. But yes, the YouTube show is fine. So let me type to King Broly just so he gets this. Okay. So after show, I talk about whatever. So I'll talk about first up Twin Peaks. I know I've been talking about that on the podcast a little bit, and the after show as well. So I finished it. What an excellent show! It's fantastic. I can see why it didn't last long on. I can see why it didn't last long on. What do you call it? Traditional TV. Network TV, that's the word. It was definitely ahead of its time. Just the way it's written, and obviously it doesn't spoon feed you everything, and obviously it's out there when it comes to certain sections, but it's very intriguing and very interesting. Really, really, really enjoyed it, and I feel terrible for the people that watched it when it was originally on, because they've been waiting 20 plus years, 25 years to see what happens next. And now it's finally happening. So, I mean, I'm happy for them. 2016, it's coming back. But they've been waiting 25 years. I'm going to be waiting a year, and it's going to drive me nuts. But, yeah, if you have the time, I mean, it's only 2 seasons. I think the first season has 9 episodes, and the second season has 22. Goodbye, Nintendo. So yeah, it doesn't take a huge commitment of time. I mean, if you do a couple episodes a night, should be able to do it in a couple weeks. But I was really pleased with it. Really enjoyed it. Grover Gamer says, started Twin Peaks but never finished it. Might have to try it again. We were only a few episodes in, I think. Yes, definitely give it another try. Kerbal says, have you read up on any of the symbolism in Twin Peaks? Yeah, I have. I've been reading a lot. I've been going to a lot of fan sites for it and just doing a lot of research in general. And I've been hanging out on the Twin Peaks subreddit, too, reading stuff in there. Haley knows what's up. And I'm going to read some of the books that came out, too. I've been keeping track of the books that were released, and I want to check out some of those, especially like The Diary of Laura Palmer. I want to read that first. But yeah, what an amazing show. Very cool. Definitely different. Even to this day, in today's day and age, it's hard for me to imagine it being a show that was on primetime network TV. Just not something you would expect traditional audiences to pick up on. Oh yeah, Super Doe, you are early. A lot happens after that. There, R42 knows what's up. It's great to see that there's hello Pixel Heap. It's great to see that there's people in here that know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I watched the show. I watched the movie as well, and it just all of it left me wanting more. I couldn't believe how many well-known actors, especially in the second season, were making some of their earliest on-screen debuts back then. Maybe not the first thing they've ever done, but definitely of note. Like Heather Graham is in it, and David Duchovny's in it, and what's his name? Billy Zane is in it. Lots of cool stuff. So check it out if you got some time. Like I said, it's out there. It can be definitely wacky. It's serious. It's funny. It's quirky. I found it very addictive. Really liked it. So I watched that. And just today, my sister told me about a podcast that I heard nothing of before. It's called, apparently it's becoming a big deal. It's called Serial. It's a podcast from the guys that did the people that did This American Life. It says, the official synopsis is, the state's case against Adnan Syed hinged on Jay's credibility. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to read you. Let me read you episode 1. It's Baltimore, 1999. Hae Min Lee, a popular high school senior, disappears after school one day. 6 weeks later, detectives arrest her classmate and ex-boyfriend, Adnan Syed, for her murder. He says he's innocent, though he can't exactly remember what he was doing on that January afternoon. But someone can. A classmate at Woodlawn High School says she knows where Adnan was. The trouble is she's nowhere to be found. This isn't a scripted show. This is a real-life story. This is a real murder mystery as told by this one lady who got very intrigued in the case, and she chronicles her whole run through the murder mystery, talking with people in real life and trying to figure out if this guy really did it or not. So I listened to the first episode today. It was an hour. Really interesting. Like my sister said, it's getting a lot of attention, and a lot of people are picking up on it. So I was listening to it today while I was working, and I really enjoyed it. I'm sucked in now. Now I'm ready. There's 8 episodes so far. And like I said, it is not fiction. It is a non-fiction podcast. But it's more, it's not your traditional podcast where somebody sits down. It's not like this where somebody sits down at a table and maybe talks to somebody else. It's like, something you'd see on Investigation Discovery if you were only listening to audio. So check those things out. There's 2 non-video game related things for you if you're interested. And the show is done exporting, and I have to get back to work. So that means for real now I'm going. Thanks to those of you that sat around and listened to me blabber while the show exported about non-Nintendo things. Thanks for those of you who stuck around and watched the show when it was about Nintendo. And next week it'll be about Nintendo. But thanks for watching and thanks for listening. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next week. Goodbye for real now.